Yo, what up, Blackest fam? I hope all is well in your corner of the world. Man, we're going to get into some Tobe Nwigwe Head to Hades. I see this is featuring Royce the 5'9", who, man, always brings it lyrically, right? As well as Tobe. So it's been a minute since we got into some fresh Tobe, so I want to definitely get into this work. It doesn't look like a long song. It looks like only 2 minutes and 59 seconds. So let's get right into it. And see if we can do it some justice and break down some of the lyrics. Toby's references are always on point, so let's see what he's got for us here.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Tobe.
Look. Could crack, that's what my boss is. Could never play me for ho, I peep the clauses.
His bars are cracked because people can't get enough.
Could crack, that's what my boss is. Could never play me for ho, I peep the clauses.
Can't get played as a hoe, right? But a ho, like Santa Claus. But he peeped the clauses, right? Sick.
What my boss is, could never play me for ho, I peep the clauses. My whole set is down to throw it up, but we not nauseous.
You throw up your set, it means you're repping where you're from, right? Represent your clique, represent your clique. And stop acting like a bitch and represent your shit. Who's scared, right? You gotta throw up where you're from. You be like Chicago, West Side, North Side, right? We used to do it a lot with the fraternity as well. But he's saying we throw up your set, but we're not throwing up because we're nauseous, right? You're not puking. You're not going to vomit.
Could crack, that's what my boss is. Could never play me for ho, I peep the clauses. My whole set is down to throw it up, but we not nauseous. And I got big drip, big splash, and whatever else out the faucet.
Woo! For those that don't know, right? I know a lot of cats appreciate it, especially if they're from another language, but people are saying big drip, right? Drip is just slang. It's like, it could mean ice, diamonds, and jewelry. If you got drip, it could mean, it's like, it's your style, right? But he's also just a wordplay with big drip, and then he threw a few water references, right?
And I got big drip, big splash, and
big splash, whatever's out the faucet, right?
Get slippery around a big splasher. Your hood for the whole bunch of sombreros, big capos.
Woo! The wordplay, right? Big cap. If you say so is all cap, right? They're lying. But a sombrero is a big straw hat that's meant to protect you from the shade, right? So yeah, you get that too, protect you from the shade. But a sombrero, it comes from the Spanish word meaning sombra, which actually means shade. So hearing big cap, it's all lie, right? Your whole hood is a bunch of sombreros, all cap. And throwing a bunch of shade.
Sparrow when it get crit tackle, but my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow. I'm good with my cornea on a sparrow, big splash and whatever else out the faucet. Yeah, it gets slippery around a big splasher. Your hood for the whole bunch of sombreros, big capos. I'm good with my cornea on a sparrow when it get crit tackle, but my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow.
For a cornea, those that don't know, it's the transparent part of your eye, right? It covers the iris and the pupil. But its main function is to allow light to enter inside your eye.
I'm good with my cornea on a sparrow when it get crit tackle, but my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow. Wig snatchers,
Ooh.
Head top, serpents.
Hold on, run that back.
Wig snatchers, on a big splash and whatever else out the faucet. Yeah.
Something about scarecrow.
Around a big splasher. Your hood for the whole bunch of sombreros, big capos. I'm good with my cornea on a sparrow when it get crit tackle, but my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow.
Ooh.
Wig snatchers,
Keep a bag of sticks, right? A scarecrow. I guess you could call it a device, but it's normally on some sort of cultivated ground. It's meant to deter birds, right, or other animals from eating or disturbing your crop, your seeds, your fruit. But it really comes from its name of scaring away the crow, right? But bags of sticks, if you're from the city, where I'm from Chicago, bags of sticks, he's talking about in the hood, keeping or stashing pistols, right? A bag of pistols, if you would, to defend yourself or your hood while you're out and about. We used to use the light boxes. You got like a street light or whatnot. You use them for many things. So you used to do in the hood in Chicago, those parking signs and no parking signs. You just take a wrench and you unscrew it so the whole pole comes up. And you just put it back in place and you sit quietly and you wait in the cut. Somebody comes thinking they're locking up their Mongoose bike or BMX bike. You come after they go and you just simply lift the entire pole up and you just dip with their bike. But there's normally an electrical part. Back in the early days of hip hop, people used to bust into those so they could steal power to power their amps, their speakers, their turntables. But there's a little stash box there. You could actually reach in. A lot of people put pistols there in inner cities. A bag of sticks would be the equivalent to a bag of guns.
On a sparrow when it get critical, but my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow. Wig snatchers, oh. Guard your head top.
Guard your head, right? Like you might get yourself scalped around these parts.
Ankles plotting, leg locks. Been here 10 toes in the gravel, but I ain't from bedrock.
Hey, what do you say about
wig snatchers, oh. Guard your head top. Serpent sliding by your ankles, plotting leg locks. 10 toes in the gravel, but I ain't from bedrock.
Ooh.
Your yeast rise, most these eyes.
What do you say? Talking about leg locks, right? These are, what do you say? Something about serpents sliding around your ankles. And then he referenced leg locks. Leg locks are used to control the movement, really of an opponent's body while you're wrestling, right? You do this twisting motion, which really creates a lot of pain, which gets them to tap out, right? But I like what he said here. He said 10 toes. You might hear the term, slang term, 10 toes down. Normally it would just mean somebody's solid or they're heavily devoted to something or someone like a hood, right? But he said 10 toes in the gravel. He repping where he's from, but I ain't from Bedrock, which is also a Flintstones reference. That's where they're from, the town of Bedrock, right?
10 toes in the gravel, but I ain't from bedrock. Guard your bread chop, your yeast rise, most these eyes deadlock on all your treasure. Measure man's worth, but what brings pleasure? I endeavor to add some feathers on the wings of those transgressors that feel lesser and can't quite apply the pressure to the aside.
Ooh, I don't know if he was referring to it as the same. Normally, when you add feathers, you're achieving something in life. But it's normally when you're adding a feather to your cap. It's like you've hit a milestone or an achievement that you were trying to accomplish. I'm not sure he's using it like that, though.
To add some feathers on the wings of those transgressors that feel lesser and can't quite apply the pressure to the esophagus of the oppressor.
Can't put pressure on someone's esophagus, right? You can't choke them out. You're left with only a few different things that you can do.
That feel lesser and can't quite apply the pressure to the esophagus of the oppressor. I hope my boys are intercessors, the end the efforts of all you little devils.
Ooh!
Go to hell.
I love how these, the dances and stuff, just super creative. And those who don't know, intercession, he said, to end, that's like intervening on behalf of someone else.
I hope my boys are intercessors, the end the efforts of all you little devils. Yeah. Go to hell. Hello, devil. Go to hell.
Head to Hades, go to hell. Okay.
Go to hell.
Can we get another another verse? Ooh, T'Challa business. That's the leader in Wakanda, right?
Go to hell. Yeah.
T'Challa business. Radiation through a microwave. T'Challa witnessed is aviation through a tidal wave. I get paid and I just iced the Jacob like the ice capades. Francis Cresswell sing ISIS paper.
I think he's referencing Jacob the jeweler. I think dude got locked up or so, right? The dude's name was Jacob Arapo or Arapbo. I don't really remember, but he was a jewelry and watch designer that really just established himself as a luxury brand. A lot of celebrities became regular customers, and then you hear, yo, man, Jacob the jeweler, ooh, right? But also the ice capades. The ice capades are traveling entertainment, if you would think of like a circus, but it's really theatrical. It's like ice skating experiences. Like we do Disney on Ice now, right?
I get paid, then I just iced the Jacob like the ice capades. Francis Cresswell sing ISIS papers replace my Bible page.
Ooh, in the whole middle of this, I thought it was all fun loving, and he's dropping some knowledge here. I don't think a lot of people are catching that reference, right? He said Francis Cress Welsing. This was a lady that died before the pandemic. I think she even died before the last presidential election with Trump. But she was a psychiatrist. She was a writer, definitely an intellectual, very well educated. But her idea was that whiteness wasn't normal, right? Everybody else in the world has melanin. Her phrasing, the way she described herself was that whiteness was a genetic issue, a disease, a skin disease. But basically, people of color around the world were all normal, and that the absence of pigment in their color is abnormal. Obviously, if you can imagine, it wasn't very popular amongst certain groups of people. But he referenced the ISIS papers, right? In early 90s, this is when I was still in grammar school, she put together something called the ISIS papers. It was called the Key to the Colors. And it was basically the argument that really that Africans, she was very Afrocentric, if you would. But she tried to say that African or Egyptian, if you would, they were pioneers in architecture, science, philosophy, and that we have this very Eurocentric way of looking at the world now because a lot of our history has been whitewashed. Really interesting stuff. You can search it again. It's Frances Cress Welsing. And you can search the ISIS papers and get a lot of information on her. I haven't read anything on her in years now, but very controversial stance that she took, especially at that time.
The ice capades, Frances Cress Welsing, ISIS papers replaced my Bible page.
Oh, replaced my Bible page. I didn't even catch that. We can get into a lot of information about the Bible and information that the Bible or the powers that be are hiding, the Vatican and the library that they have, and information that they don't want to be released to the public. That can be a whole other video, something that I really enjoy speaking on as well.
Escapades, Frances Cress Welsing, ISIS papers replaced my Bible page. Cry at the wedding and hire my wifey's bridal maid. Frankie Beverly singing my angry medley through a cyber maid.
The wordplay again. I don't think a lot of younger cats are going to catch this wordplay, right? He said he's crying at the wedding, right? If you got, and he said hire somebody as a bridal maid. Well, he referenced Frankie Beverly. If you don't know who Frankie Beverly is, you won't get the reference. Frankie Beverly, anytime he performs, he wears all white, very similar to what you might at a wedding, right? But also his group was called Cyber Maze. I don't believe that was the original name. I think it was changed, but I believe it was Frankie Beverly and the Cyber Maze, and starring Frankie Beverly. But that's who he's referencing. They really became, the group was, I don't know if it was, I think it's just Maze. I don't think it's Cyber Maze, right? I think that's what he said. But they got famous for opening for Marvin Gaye back in the day.
Frances Cress Welsing, ISIS papers replaced my Bible page. Cry at the wedding and hire my wifey's bridal maid. Frankie Beverly singing my angry medley through a cyber maze. So guard your head top. This is pressure in the form of a headlock.
Ooh.
And this for my niggas to hustle, police patrolling the freeway. Whoa. This is for Nipsey Hussle, holy theologian C-Day. Them snakes is like Kobe and theologian. I can't ever say that word, but basically it's someone who dedicates their life to the seeking knowledge about God and all things God, or the study of theology, right? Just wanted to reference that in case someone didn't quite catch it. And this for my niggas to hustle, police patrolling the freeway. Whoa. This is for Nipsey Hussle, holy
R.I.P. Nip.
Them snakes exist and play your position like Kobe and D-Wade, old school 6
playing your position
like Tobe Nwigwe. Go to hell.
Go to hell.
Moments, mint condition, right?
All you devils, go to hell. You think you know me well, but go to hell. Yeah. Hey.
Ooh.
Hey, hello, is this God?
Yeah, this him.
But I be damn. What's up, God? I don't got nothing to say. Just, what's up, God? What's up, God? What's up, God? Hey, hello, is this God for real?
Like how they look.
Damn, what's up, God? What should I say if the devil called? What should I say if the devil ever called? Go to hell.
Go to hell.
Ay, go to hell. Go to hell. Now you said it. Go to hell. Go to hell. Ay, go to hell.
Go to hell.
Now you said it. Go to hell. Go to hell. Ay, go to hell.
That's a Tobe.
Now you said it. Go to hell.
Ah.
Go to hell. Ay, go to hell. Go to hell.
Oh, yo, man, Tobe, one thing he can do well outside of spitting, obviously, is just get you geeked, right? Before you know it, like we're talking about God, before you know it, I'm over here throwing up stuff I haven't repped for 20 years. Gotta love some Tobe Nwigwe, man. This was Head to Hades featuring Royce the 5'9". I didn't know who that last cat was. I don't think I ever saw him on anything. But man, shout out. And the one thing I heard that I was kind of disappointed on was that Tobe and Fat split up. What? Where was I? Man, we got to go deeper into that because we actually did some breakdowns of how they met each other and got into it. Man, they seemed like such a happy couple. They had the family going. So really sad to hear that. Someone in the comment section put me on. And so I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper into that as we continue to get into some Tobe Nwigwe. If you're a fan, man, like the video, but show some love by subscribing to the channel. We have an entire folder of over 60 breakdowns we've done, intense breakdowns with Tobe Nwigwe from his early days with Fi-Fi and some before he was as well known as he is now, going over a year plus ago. So man, make sure you show some love and definitely check out some of those older videos. See you on the next one.